Wake up, it's time to see. Decode the system, set your mind free. Normalize and trust on a mission. Exposing frauds, revealing the illusion.
This is the fraud department.
Behind the curve, see through the lies. A master system, open your eyes. For the conscious, for the bold, for the free, we break the chains.
Decode the matrix. Decode the matrix. Decode the fraud department.
Welcome back. The fraud department has a new bag.
Yay.
We'll probably we got a new toy. Yeah, new little app. So we'll probably be playing with some backgrounds, seeing what we like. Feel free to comment. Today we are going to be talking about a number of things focused on mostly immigration related topics. But first, we gotta have us a good time here before we get into the drag of the matrix and all the nonsense that's going on. Aiden, you want to start off?
Yeah, you gonna pull up the video?
OB?
Oh, you wanted me to do it?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to log into Instagram on my computer sometimes.
Oh, is it?
Let's see.
Mine seems to do okay. Let me see if I can, but I don't have my Instagram open. But basically what the question we want to ask today, there's just so much going on in centered around immigrations or other countries. I don't even know why we're bothering with other people, but the question we're kind of asking it today and trying to get to is why Americans who are historical immigrants, like none of us probably would have been here had it not been for colonization and all the other atrocities that have gone on in this country, but we were all immigrants and now we're hating on the immigrants. And the immigrants seem to be to me, I feel like the immigrants are kind of being hated on. I saw a clip earlier this week that was really, really funny. But it was spot on. It's like the immigrants are kind of the ones that are making it happen and taking advantage of all the things and, the American dream, I guess, quote unquote, if you can call it that. But we seem to want to blame them for everything for whatever reason.
Is it us or is it the system though? I mean, I feel like a lot of this this energy is kind of fueled by the powers that be as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is the system? It's us, isn't it?
Who's us? If you have an algorithm, that's not really us until we engage with it. We feed it. So,
right.
When they figure out what they can put in front of our faces, what type of imagery can make you feel like, oh, well, this is justified.
Mm-hmm.
Fight for freedom. You know what I mean? And the conversation usually starts with home, like when you talk about the immigration propaganda, I think we're seeing it with the World Cup. Like, oh, there's a really good example of how, the color of your skin tone decides whether you can even come in. Referee, player.
Yeah, and that's a good point you bring up. It's like, why even? I think I saw a post the other day that said something to the effect of, why even, have the World Cup somewhere if you don't want people coming to your country. And the comment that I made, or the thing that I pointed out, was that these decisions to invite the world in or to host these events, these are local decisions. Cities and various municipalities bid for these things, and so it's not really a federal decision that says the U.S. is going to do something. The U.S. is not hosting the World Cup. Atlanta, Los
These
Angeles,
cities are, yep.
the cities are hosting the World Cup. So, and unfortunately, immigration is a federal thing. So, yeah, they have the ultimate decision on who comes in and out. So, yeah. I don't know.
Man.
It's looking really crazy. And then you have all the people who
Yeah, I got a video if you want to go over the immigration stuff real quick.
You got it pulled up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you got all these people now. You got all these, not just the people who were planning to.
Entry denied. I'm on the team playing in the World Cup. Then stay in Mexico until it's time for your games, then leave ASAP. Next. Hello. Iran and Iraq. No chance. Next. MMA. Are you here for World Cup? Yeah, to do a load of coke and probably stab somebody. Welcome to America. Step forward. Hello. Oh, no. What's wrong? You are a terrorist. I am a referee who fits the profile of a terrorist. How? You know how. Next. Hello, sir. Is this a joke? Get my passport. You're from 2 countries? Kinda. Herzegovina ain't even a place. Denied. Next. Hello there. An easy one. Welcome. Hi there. Perfect. On you go. Ja, bro. White South African. We love you guys. Hi there. What is Dr. Congo? That's Democratic Republic? Yeah. No Africans. Just let in that South African. Oh, that is very different. Bye-bye. Here you go. Where is Morocco? Just off the coast of Europe.
Just came from there.
Africa? Denied! Next! Hey, it's time for a hydration break. Oh, okay. Which means we go to commercial. AK-47s. Do you need to protect your family from immigrants? Then head to Walmart and get yourself an AK-47 today. They will put...
Okay. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Denied. Okay,
So we're co-hosting.
And the thing too is that one thing that a lot of Americans, these people are a lot of people are requesting visas in advance. They don't have the U.S. passport. If you're not a traveler, you may or may not know, but the U.S. passport is basically leather wrapped gold around the planet. We can a U.S. citizen. Or a tier 1 passport can typically get you into any country. You just got to show up with your passport. No big deal. Occasionally you have to get a visa in advance. Occasionally you get a visa on site, but in most cases you can just show up, with your good old American self, and they will let you in. But other countries are not like that, especially when you look at, third world countries usually have a small number of countries that they may be able to travel to, usually in their general, geographic region. Like, for example, not even for example, and then even if you go to places like, let's say, Jamaica. I believe Jamaicans can travel to Jamaica is a British territory. So my understanding is that they can travel to other British territories, wherever those might be. So in many cases, travel is very limited for people. So yeah, so they're applying for these visas, and I almost want to watch that video again, but that was hilarious. Okay, so yeah, so what's the problem? What's the problem? I don't really know.
Is,
oh, and by the way, speaking of immigrants, today's hair is courtesy of the Egyptians. I was in Chicago. I went to the Egyptians and got it worked out right quick. Usually I'm kind of au naturale on these shows, but I decided to get a little glammed up for the recording of the book. The Elephant in the Room. We're recording The Elephant in the Room, and it is available at theredpillbook.com.
Wow.
It will also be available.
Studio.
Hang on one second. widgets. Yeah, it will also be available on the SoulSync app. You can scan that QR code for Google, for the Apple App Store, to download the SoulSync app. Subliminal affirmations for self-mastery. The audiobook will be available there. So it's available there on the Apple App Store. This is the QR code for the Google Play Store. You can download that app for free. Most of the tracks, these affirmations, are free at this time. So download it now while it's still free. And don't forget, with each track, you can scroll up and be able to read the subliminal that's coming through. So, all right, we'll leave that up. Let's see. So yeah, so immigration. What is the problem, Aiden? What is the problem? Why have we, as, and I'm not even going to say as a culture, because most people don't care. I mean, I don't care how many people show up here. I feel like we have plenty of room here in the United States.
We keep building.
We may have to spread out. We may have to spread out a little bit. I mean, most of our major cities are full, especially Atlanta, as they always say. But why not?
Why not what?
What's the problem? Why can't they come?
Because we got a bunch of imbeciles running the show.
Is that all it is?
I mean, this is nothing new in general, as far as like establishing some very negative ideas and making things.
It's like we all ran through the door and then now we're slamming it closed. This whole country, like I said, was basically stolen by immigrants. Mm-hmm. So is that why we fear immigrants? Because we feel like they're gonna steal the country again?
Same reason why we fear aliens.
Karma? I don't know. We fear the karma.
That's why we call them. That's why we call them illegal aliens.
Yeah, when I look at when many immigrants come here, they're not just coming here. They come in here with a plan. You know what I mean? They're coming here with a plan. In a lot of cases, coin. I don't know if there's. Do you feel like there's a difference in how we treat Hispanic immigrants or Mexican immigrants coming across the border versus, just immigrants from other countries, maybe like European countries? Obviously, we have the First Lady of the United States is an immigrant, so like that's okay. She's good,
Yeah. I mean, it's not even really just about Mexican versus some other border. It's really like this video showed. It's about color. It's about what you look like. It's about what type of is your country even known? Like even the Eastern European countries. Sorry, you can't be from two places. I've
never heard of that country. Sorry,
exactly.
I didn't pass world geography. So
right.
I'm not aware.
I took AP Human Geography, but we'll talk about that later. I think it's really funny too, because it really shows more about ignorance than just pure racism and blatant what's the word they use? Bigotry. Mm-hmm. It's like not just a lack of awareness, you know what I'm saying? A lack of understanding. Even when it was like, hey, what's the Dr. Congo? And like, oh, you let the South Africans in, and like, no, that's different. That's different. Like, so it's really about the relationship, and a lot of times how willing is your country to bend to the needs of America. That plays into the propaganda that we get fed as children and in the media. And so, you're not even allowed to say Allah Akbar in public no more. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of one of the videos with the different racial delegations. It was like, we're asking for permission to say this in public again, because it has nothing to do with terrorism.
Without people, right? without everybody looking, right?
It's a religious thing. But speaking of the Mexicans and that relationship we share, I feel like it's kind of just like Old Faithful. It's kind of just like, the neighbors versus like people coming from other places where it's like, ooh, ah. So I thought this clean air
Every single one. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, every single one said, AI is coming. It's coming for your job. There's nothing you can do about it, and government's going to pay for it all. And half the country is like, God damn, fucking Mexicans, dude. You know, every
And the thing is like they're the one group that we can kind of just ball all the problems into, whether it's economic, workforce related, inflation. We talk about public assistance, all these things that a lot of them don't even qualify for, especially if you're undocumented. But it's really just they can't keep ragging on Black people. There's just not enough. Like the numbers don't add up when you say what's quote unquote dragging this country and what's making it not so great. And so when you have wars and you have refugees and you have people coming from Ukraine and Haiti and this place and that place, you see the stark differences in the amount of assistance, what city you get sent to, how you get treated once you get there. It's really interesting. Especially when you see how it is in the South. And I remember seeing those images. I think they were from 22 or 23 when you had those Border Patrol officers on horses, like literally rounding up Haitians and kind of like just it looked like something you would see in a textbook from the 1800s. I would try to pull that up, but
my understanding, I have some friends who are Haitian, and apparently Haitians are high risk for needing to be refugees, and there's a lot going on in Haiti. So I mean, rightfully so. They need to destabilized actively. Let them out. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. But one thing about that just kind of popped in my head, I was just kind of thinking, was with Mexicans. Really, Mexicans are really kind of other than the Native Americans we've put on reservations here. They're really some of the only remaining Native Americans. So is it kind of like a Native American hate that we want to, and how we like kind of stole their like it's I've got friends also that live in border cities, right? Like down in at the bottom of Texas, and it's like eventually, I mean, my thing is this: if you're gonna act a mess and all that, just give them their land back. Let them have that land back that we stole from them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It feels like it's like residual. Because now we don't treat Canadians like that, because those are white immigrants. Most of those were most Canadians are, you got a section that's British. You got a section, most of them are of a French descent. They speak a lot of French up there in Canada. But yeah, we just seem to have this big issue with Mexicans, and I just really would like to know. I mean, I have a lot of family, we have a lot of family that that's Hispanic, a couple of family members that are immigrants, a number of family members. We've got a Hispanic, we've got German, we've got what else, a couple other things. But anyways, I just feel like this target, I feel like it's bigger than what they're saying. Like, I can't quite put my finger on it yet, but it kind of just doesn't really make sense. Because my thing too is that if some people say, oh, they're draining the system, which I don't believe that's I don't believe that is true. But so just cut off all these benefits. You know what I'm saying? Just,
that's what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, but I guess for me, it's kind of like, if you don't want them coming here feeding off the system, then shut that down. Because in many cases, it's us that does the most. You know what I mean? It's us that feeds off this. It's actually white Americans that get more welfare and things like that than anyone. So I just don't understand why we keep why we keep blaming. Maybe somebody will come along and see this video, and
When has the system never had?
maybe they can break
When
it
has the
down.
system ever not had somebody to blame for their problems? And the
That's a
thing
good point.
is we talk about benefits in the system being worn down. We don't talk about capitalism and how them being available, whether it's in prison through immigration or just standard criminal political system, and then just working BS jobs, whether it's underpay, whether it's through not even just illegal activities, but just working illegally. All of that stuff fuels your cheap products and goods and the food that goes onto your table. So, people love to act like that there's some big shift that needs to happen in Congress, but it's like your dollar, what you buy every day, contributes to these things. One of the things that kind of opened my eyes to this when we were traveling a couple years ago in South America, we were watching this documentary about the avocado war on Netflix. And it was really opening my eyes to how sticky and how tainted even a simple item like guacamole could be when you really trace it back to the source.
Mhm.
Not just the farmer that grew it, but the fact that it got stolen, or the fact that you maybe been paying back debts to the cartel. And how then after it's been harvested, it may get stolen. Like, there's avocado pirates out here in these streets. Like, it's a whole nother world that people don't even understand, that kind of runs other people's entire, their mini world. Like, their thing has everything to do with whether it's growing the food, transporting it, making sure that they don't get caught, getting back and forth. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just like I said, it's an ignorance thing, and I think it's also a sensationalization. I don't think a lot of other groups aren't really sensationalized in the same way that Mexicans, Africans, Caribbeans, certain South American groups are, like in media, whether it's movies, whether it's, think about every action movie that takes place in some tropical area, or think about, Africa doesn't really get as much love, but they more get, just the commercials of the African children, and everybody's just sick and dying, and all our ideas, oh, when you gotta go to Africa, you gotta get all these shots. So it's like when you come here, it's like, oh, you bring in Ebola, you got this, you got that.
Mhm.
And it's just ignorance at the end of the day. Our European counterparts, we watch historical stuff about them. That's how they're dramatized. The British, we love to watch kings, queens. German, we love to watch war history. We love to see the spectacle of what they were, even if there's a lot of dark history that we don't really want to touch. And a lot of the dark history that all these other countries with brown and black people in them has to do with everyone else. A lot of our dark history doesn't have to do with us. It's just like, oh, after this happened, everything went to ish, or, everything gets spread out. And I think the great thing too, and I'll end on this point, that the World Cup is now showing is the World Cup is not really about these countries. You know what I'm saying? If you were to look at it from a genetic perspective, there's no country with an all-white team that's about to be winning any World Cup. But the aspect of the history of the African diaspora and immigration in general has allowed all these countries to benefit from, the globalization of this great sport, but it's been advanced largely in part due to immigration. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be there in these countries if people from these different places didn't make it so popular. And
So
I
do you
think
think do you think the denial of everybody, do you think it could be more like a federal, kind of power move, us against them? Because a lot of the cities that we're planning to host have kind of given the middle finger to 47. So
planning to host what?
the World Cup.
I mean, the World Cup is starting. I mean, the host thing is happening. So,
But I'm saying the people who've been denied, just this chaos they're causing because of all these denials and whatever. Do you think that that's a, kind of an ego?
Of course, he said
power move
explicitly, like,
against
the
the
blue
cities
cities,
themselves?
any city that didn't vote majority for him is not getting any federal money. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember I was watching a video a couple months ago about this one bridge in Oregon that's like super unsafe, and it's like it was built a long time ago. It needs to be rebuilt. And when you apply for some, for infrastructure and things like that, which a lot of these cities, that's what they like to, put on the headlines is, hey, we got $2 billion for this, what I'm saying, $1 billion for that for infrastructure. A lot of that stuff gets supplemented or in part funded by the federal government. And so if they can block a lot of those projects, that in turn has a large effect on public safety, economic development, and, just downright growth. Because that's all we care about. Everything is measured in growth. We can't really just measure sustainability. Everything in America and just in general with how society and capitalism has permeated everything, it's based on how fast we're growing, what percentage we're growing. And so that's not going to happen with, the administration kind of sucking and, choking everything off. People just ain't got it. So.
Yeah. How much longer do we have with him in office? We need to start a countdown.
I mean,
like 2 years.
26, we're coming up 2.5 years,
Okay, so it's been 2 years, 2.5. Okay. It's been 2.5 years already.
Yeah. We've endured a lot. We have endured a lot.
Hold on, I got a bug in here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is insane.
And I think one of the other aspects that, like you mentioned, we wanted to touch on was how this propaganda kind of feeds into some of our own, personal conversation. And then we had, this really viral moment from Drewski. And I think we have the BET Awards coming up in 7 days. Mm-hmm. And so, he's generating a lot of hype.
Let's see what that's about. Let's watch
around his latest reel, one of his latest reels. So let me know what y'all think about this.
Rudy, stop talking like that. You ain't going to no big city. I said go lecture.
Yeah, I'm going with or without you.
Rudy, stop talking like that. Stop. Hey, what are you niggers doing over there? Hey, what are you doing?
And cuts. Fantastic. I need more American slave. Okay.
Like struggle.
So, yeah, the struggle.
Sort of like the dialogue, like the back and forth banner.
Absolutely. Yes.
See, this role was sort of a bit cheeky. I got a little bit out of my comfort zone, During the filming of this role in this character, I felt oppressed, like an American slave, like a little struggle. I studied the art.
A fantastic turnout on the red carpet tonight. I'm just arriving. We have Samson Dubois at the American Guild Awards.
Samson, you look great tonight.
How hard was it for you to change your accent?
As a little boy from Manchester, I think, I struggle a bit with the dialect, right? But to really get into character for this quite astonishing role that I took on, to say the least, I put it all on the line.
All right, 3, 2, 1, action.
I'm telling you, nigga, if you fuck with my shit, I'll kill you, nigga. You'll be fucked up. Fuck.
Nigga, family.
Nigga, ain't no fucking family in this shit. We not family, nigga. Fuck family.
Hey, cut, that's the one.
Like training day or something.
So I didn't even see the second scene from this video before.
Yeah, it shows kind of like clips of supposedly him and all the, these different videos.
But my point, I'm so glad we played this, because what I wanted to share with everybody and what I kind of took from this as well, because he's talking about British actors and he's talking about how they're taking quote unquote these roles. But what you have to understand is, especially from the dawn of film, it has been to sell you feeling, you know what I'm saying? To sell you spectacle. So as far as any reason the Black experience would get shared is especially if we're not, in complete control of it, it's going to be spectacle. It's going to be to sell you an idea of something that either reinforces a bias or either taints some type of historical narrative that they want to, it has to have an objective. Mm-hmm. So, if they give you a movie like Selma, or they give you a movie like 12 Years a Slave, you know what I'm saying? Those are ones where you feel like, oh, this is supposed to speak to me and my culture and where I come from. And then they give you something like Concrete Jungle, which is what you're actually living. That's your actual reality. So trying to go back in time and, repair and put this, this glossy finish over something, it's really problematic. It's really problematic. So you can't really be mad when that system of filmmaking and industry in Hollywood is going to take somebody, whether they're white whether they're light-skinned, whether they're British, whether they're from Jamaica, whether they're from Kenya. You can't be upset because they're selling you a feeling and an idea. Nothing is real.
Yeah, the thing is, what a lot of people realize, they always talk about the system, where the system is set up, whatever. There is no system without our participation in it. That we make up the system. And one thing I think I saw on Drewski's page, like the reason he did that skit or what have you, he either commented on it or I saw him saying something or whatever. Yes, it was funny. Yes, it was, satire or whatever. But what he said was that it does bother him, all these British actors, because the topic, especially like the slave videos and slave movies and things, because the topic is so deeply rooted, it's like a really personal thing. And I mean, I guess, none of us were actually slaves. So none of us actually, experienced that directly. Now, if you understand, generational baggage that we carry and things we, pass down in our DNA and the different traumas and things like that, like, okay, maybe I guess you could probably feel it. But my thing is this: if it's so deeply rooted and it's so personal and so touching, then, entertainment is entertainment. So let's not make that entertainment. Let's respect that. Let's respect that and leave that over there and not make it entertainment. But you can't make it entertainment and then try to dictate and act like, oh, this is so personal and this person, and Black people are never satisfied, okay, with who plays what role when it comes to these types of movies. If the actual character being depicted isn't Black enough and dark enough, that's a problem. If they choose a light-skinned character that's a little too light, that's a problem. Now you got Black people, you got the dark-skinned Black people in England, the Idris Elba, fine-ass Idris, okay, but I guess he ain't Black enough because now he's British, so that's a problem.
Let's talk about that. Like, that's one thing, but let's talk about the parallel to how we will also at the same time go in on the white community, the Disney community, for going in on the new Black princesses and talking about all these roles that weren't necessarily white or weren't necessarily Black that somehow become Black or Indian or this or that.
And in those cases, that's purely make-believe. These Disney
exactly.
Like,
so you see how like it's the same cult-like behavior where we're trying to dictate every single aspect of the experience instead of enjoying the art. You're not allowing the art to be what it is. Filmmaking, directing, writing, especially for a lot of these stories that were recycled from books and comics and things that actually had a real deep meaning, things like Transformers, Black Panther, stuff that I like. But when I actually go back and look, I'm like, oh, this meant something completely different. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets tainted and tarnished. Just purely based
they even
on
had a problem even with the Michael Jackson movie. They had a problem with Jaffrey. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Jaffrey playing the role, and that's his freaking nephew. But no, they wanted somebody that looked like Bell Pepper Nose Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't.
I like the movie.
They didn't want.
It was great.
I still haven't seen it. I need to see it. It's available now.
Great job.
I think you can buy it for like $20 on one of the streaming platforms. So I'm gonna watch it here shortly. But I don't know what does that man say? What's wrong with the Blacks? It's never enough. They're never satisfied.
Yeah.
Ever. Hit that. Hit play. Is that a trailer?
You said what?
That's a trailer. I mean, he looked just like the man.
That's what I'm saying with the makeup and everything. I'm like, bro, come on now. Look at that.
They said he danced good and everything, right?
He said he's been practicing this for over 5 years. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just before the movie even became an idea, it just started becoming a part of his, coming into, I guess, being a man or just his creative side. Because he wasn't a dancer, he wasn't a singer. And eventually he's like, they went in front of the directors, not the front of the directors, but someone sent them a clip like, oh yeah, we about to make it big. And one of the things, since we're on the topic of Michael, we're on the topic of these British actors, all this stuff, they're already talking about making a sequel based on how much money this first one made. We know that the movie cut off right before all the quote unquote BS in his life, where they started to,
and people were mad about that. Oh, you didn't talk about the negative. Okay, when I set out to create something, you don't tell Michelangelo, oh, you didn't put enough into your painting. You take the painting, you take the art as it is, and you appreciate it for what it is. If I make a movie just about his dancing and don't include any of that stuff, that's my choice as the creator.
Right. And I think the scariest part about it is that now that they said they're going to greenlight a sequel, is that we know that that's what they want, and they're probably going to feed into that. They're probably going to go ahead and start to put a little bit of that into the movie more than, you know, maybe they would have if people would just shut their damn mouths and stop being so damn nosy. We already know what happened or didn't happen. Let the man die in peace. Like, let the man rest in peace. So I think it's the same thing when it comes to this Tupac situation and Snoop Dogg and all this AI that they're doing and repurposing, and Drake and the Michael Jackson. And, you know, we're always trying to recreate, holograph some shit. And it's just, let it die. Like, it's cool. Like, it takes away the meaning of someone living and lasting and enjoying them while they're here. If I can just repurpose and refurbish all their old stuff from, you know, 20 years ago and make it like they're still here. It's one thing to enjoy the old songs, but it's another thing to create a whole new song for some vocals that have been configured from Mike PT. Like, it's gross. It's trash. It's very trash. It's very trash. And I think that the sad part is they wouldn't do. You brought up Michelangelo. They wouldn't do that with his art. They'll do that to ours. They'll do that to music. They'll do that to, you know, all these other forms that, you know, and it's not just us. They'll do it to white people too.
Yeah, like I don't ever see like other genres of movies, you know, that complain about, you know, who plays who and who does what and, you know, all the things. I just don't, I don't seem to see that anywhere but our community. So I don't know. Are we streaming on YouTube? I don't think we're live.
Well, you hit record, so I don't know if that's the stream.
Oh.
You record.
That must be why.
It says record only here.
Oh. Damn.
Did you select the...
Oh, so I got to select those. They're grayed out. I thought they were already chosen. Damn. Do we want to start over?
No.
Okay.
Well, unless you want to talk about something else, like we could just keep going. Like,
I wanted to be live. I wanted to test the going live on our.
Yeah, I thought that's what that.
Damn, I messed that up.
I see the recording, but it says record only. I didn't peep the recording.
Yeah, because I didn't click all the buttons. Like I saw them up there, but I thought they were already there and going. I didn't realize when you click them, they brighten up. Dang it.